Hi, my name is Tim, and I would like to show you a really delicious recipe for a way to cook asparagus. Now, asparagus is something that, if we'll cook it right, and maybe along the ways of what I'm going to show you, it's going to taste delicious. You'll love the taste as well as your children and all of your other family members, and you'll be the life of any dinner party that you put together, as well as having your family enjoy what you're cooking. Now, one of the things that I like to focus on my recipes of what you'll see, and not just this one, but all the other ones that you'll see that I make, is I'm going to use nothing but what comes out of the earth, what God created out of the earth on a tree, or out of a tree, or on a vine. I want to focus so much on what God created for us to eat, because there is a plan, and if we'll follow that plan and eat as much as possible of what was created for us, not so much what man has created. And if we'll follow that plan, we can walk free from disease and sickness and live a happy, healthy life, as well as be able to eat some really delicious food that you and your family will really enjoy. So today I'm going to get started, and I'm going to show you that if we'll use the right ingredients and God's ingredients, they'll taste good and keep you free from disease and sickness. Now, I like to use extra virgin coconut oil. I like to use it to cook with. I like a lot of saute, and so I saute a lot with virgin coconut oil. I don't necessarily use extra virgin olive oil anymore. I only use that on salads or when I'm topping a dish. And I also use a lot of free-range chicken broth, organic, and I also use bouillon or chicken base, and I use sea salt. So let's get started with what I want to show you today. We're going to make asparagus, and obviously whenever you get an asparagus or any vegetable, you want to make sure it's got a little bit of snap to it. That tells you that it's fresh. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to take the asparagus and I'm going to cut these ends off, and that'll leave me with the top part of the asparagus. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this in 3 pieces, just like that. And I'll take the tops and I'm going to leave them just like that. Now, the rest of the asparagus, what I'm going to do is probably not something that you may have seen, but I like to do this for 2 reasons. My kids tend to enjoy this a little bit better when I slice it right down the middle like that. And it's also going to it's going to cook a little quicker, but also you'll notice I'm right in the middle of that vegetable. I don't have to cook it very long, and some of the flavor is going to soak right into that asparagus. So I'm going to take a few minutes here, and I'm going to cut the rest of these asparagus up. And be sure to watch your fingers, get you a good sharp knife. Watch your fingers so that you cut it properly, slowly, so that you don't hurt yourself. So I'm going to take a few minutes here, and I'm going to cut all of these asparagus in half. And I've got my steamer with a steam plate right down there. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a 2-step process. We're going to take the asparagus that I've cut, and we're going to put them in the steamer for about 2 minutes. We're not going to cook them all the way through. We're going to give them a nice saute, and then finish them with some ingredients. It's going to taste just delicious. Okay, now I've got all of my asparagus chopped up just the way that I want them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lid off of my steamer, and I'm going to toss all of these asparagus right down in the steamer. And that's going to take about 2 minutes. And in that 2 minutes time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and preheat my saute pan, and I'm going to put it on medium, because I don't really like to cook vegetables on high because you can burn them. And we're going to use a little bit of virgin coconut oil to saute them in. And I encourage you guys to stay away from all of that vegetable, canola, and all of those other oils, and stick to these main 2 oils. Extra virgin virgin coconut oil and extra virgin olive oil to top things off. You can cook with extra virgin olive oil, but you got to cook on a low heat. Now, this is a very nutritious way. There are other oils out there, but these are the only 2 that I know that I've done great research on that'll provide health and nutrition for you. So what we're going to do, we're going to have our saute pan up heating, and I'm going to take 3 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to dice those up real quick. Now, you can use a little bit more garlic, or you can use a little bit less garlic. but I like to use at least about 3 good cloves because I like that real strong garlicky taste. You know, it's that Italian blood in me that I like to have a real strong garlic taste, not to mention the nutritional value that garlic can bring for you as well. Now, one of the other main ingredients that I'm going to be using to finish off these vegetables is chicken base. Now, one thing you could do if you want to keep the sodium down is you could use the chicken broth. And then you may have to add a little sea salt. But I find myself, I don't really have to add any salt to any of the vegetable dishes that I cook just because of the ingredients that I use. Now, I'm going to use a little bit of chicken base, maybe a half of a teaspoon. And chicken base, that's kind of what it looks like. Or you could use a bouillon cube, but the chicken base tends to have a lot better flavor for my liking. So let's just kind of get that chicken base right there incorporated in this little ramekin, and it's just got maybe a couple tablespoons of water in there. Oh, I'm making a big mess here. All right, we should be ready to pull those vegetables out and finish them up. Because, like I said, we don't want to cook them through. We just want to cook them just enough so they have a little bit of crunch to them. Like the chefs say, they want them al dente, the vegetables al dente. We got a little bit of heat here to our saute pan. Whoops, one more thing I forgot. We need to put about a good solid teaspoon of the virgin coconut oil, maybe a little bit more. I like that coconut flavor, and you'll find that once you start using this, the flavor of it's dynamic. So let's go ahead and start putting some of these asparagus down here in our saute pan. And you can hear a little bit of sizzle. Make sure I got it on a good medium heat there. Okay, we've got all the asparagus. And what we want to do is we just want to saute that around, get it good and incorporated with the virgin coconut oil. Let's just let that in the pan and let me just add a little touch of heat to it. Now, I got really basically 3 ingredients that I'm going to finish these vegetables off with. That's our chicken base with a little bit of water. And I've got some cracked pepper. And then I've got my garlic. Now, I don't want to put my garlic in too soon because it might begin to burn and take away the real good flavor of the garlic. Now, I got about 90 seconds to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this garlic and I'm going to slide it right down into my asparagus. And I'm going to add all of our ingredients. And I'm going to give that about 90 seconds to really get good and incorporated. Take my cracked pepper. Oh yeah, going to add some really nice flavor. And we just want to, there we go. We want to saute that in there real good and get all of the garlic and get all of that chicken base incorporated in the asparagus, and we'll let that sit for probably about another minute, and then we'll be ready to eat our asparagus. Now, just to make sure you got the right salinity to your asparagus, what you want to do is give it a good toss and just check it. And for me, I actually prefer just a little bit of sea salt. Just a little bit, not very much. Let's let that incorporate for just another second or two. Alright, now let's pull this thing off. Let's give it a nice good toss so that everything's incorporated very well. And just put it on our plate. And there you have. You have asparagus. And I can say everything on here is very healthy. It's nutritious. And it's something that can add a lot of value to your life. And one of the things that I like to always tell people that I know is if we can learn to build around the vegetable instead of building around the meat, the fish, the chicken, the big protein, then I believe that we can learn to live a long, happy, healthy, prosperous life, and we'll spend a lot less medicine and time, or a lot less medicine, or money buying medicine, and a lot less time getting our checkups and going to the hospital. Watch for the next video.